Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to the Eternal City. My name is TESA TABOO, and this is TESA's Tarot. You know, while I was shuffling the decks for you guys, I'm using 3 decks for this mid-December 2020 reading, wrapping up the year before we jump into 2021. Woo! I kept thinking Gemini. Like, as I was shuffling the cards, Gemini kept popping up in my head. And I don't know. I'm really wondering why. I don't know if maybe you guys are dealing with a Gemini right now. Or if there's a significant Gemini figure in your life. There could be some significance for you. Another little interesting tidbit is I thought before I recorded my mid-December readings, I was going to do a little chit-chat video just because the things that I have been experiencing and going through this month, has been really interesting, and I don't want to say intense like how Scorpio season was, because Scorpio season was intense. This month has been a very, very deep learning experience for me in terms of just old wounds and things unearthing themselves within me, childhood wounds, things that have deeply plagued me throughout my life have really been clearing themselves. I feel like I've been doing a lot of healing. But it's like as I heal one thing, another thing makes itself known, okay? So it's kind of like been this ongoing process. And the reason why I wanted to do like a little chit-chat video, which I will probably still do, but I ultimately decided, you know what, I think I want to wrap up 2020, record these mid-December readings, and then I can do, a little of like a get to know me kind of video, because I think it's important, in my personal opinion, for my viewers and for the people who do watch my channel to know me and to get to know me. And in addition to getting to know me, getting to know my style and how I like to incorporate astrology into tarot, because I don't talk a lot about the education of tarot when I do these videos. I kind of just focus on the reading. But there's so much to learn. There are so many layers and so many dimensions to tarot. And it is organized. It's actually very mathematical. So if you're a skeptic, it's actually arranged the way that the tarot is built. It's built off of astrology, which is what makes it so fascinating to me. And I like to read the cards based off of the knowledge that I know of astrology. So when the reason I wanted to do my little chit chat get to know me video is so I can kind of show you, because I am working on like a website, and I want to be able to do birth chart analysis for you guys as well as tarot readings. That is kind of my bigger plan, bigger picture for the channel. And the way that I would do them is I would record it. I would make a video. It would probably be at least an hour long. And I would send you a private link so you can watch a video of my in-depth analysis of your birth chart. And then I would include a tarot reading with it. So with this birth chart, I would look at everything in your birth chart. I would look at the different sign placements, the planet placements, all the different houses, significant aspects. I would also look at the moon phase in which you were born under. I would bring up very specifically some of the more unique things that I see in your chart, whether you have a yod, whether you have a stellium, if you have really significant past life elements that come up, okay? And like the filling in the blanks part is kind of where the tarot would come in. So the reason why I wanted to do kind of a chit chat and get to know me kind of video is so I can kind of show you on some levels what it would be like to get a full, to get a birth chart reading and a tarot reading while I dissect my own birth chart, okay? So, because I think getting to know people through astrology is really interesting and really fascinating. And, you know, what better way to start than by doing one for myself? Because I mean, I'm not like the only person, you know, my chart is, okay, it's like a unique blueprint in terms of when you were born, but we all share signs, you know, like we do have a unique birth chart, but there's something that I could be expressing and sharing that's in my chart that could also be in your chart, or something that you can relate to, you know. So if that can help somebody who's watching, if doing an analysis of myself can help someone who maybe has similar placements as I do, then that's awesome. Like, that is ideal. That's ideal, you know, because I have a lot that I can definitely share and express about my life experiences, and learning about myself more intimately through astrology has really allowed me to have some kind of answer to some of the things that I've felt, experienced, and it doesn't, you know, it really allows you to feel like there is something substantial to your experiences, and there is something to be learned, and there's also a very special kind of significance to them as well. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, so stay tuned for that. But Capricorn, I'm actually really glad that you guys are my first reading. Capricorn season is next. I am very much ready to learn from the earth signs. I have to tell you, I don't have any earth in my chart. I have zero. I'm all fire. I'm a lot water, and I'm a little bit of air, and I have no earth, okay? The one earth that I have, and this is exactly what I've been dealing with these last couple of weeks, ever since Sagittarius season, ever since my birthday, I've been dealing with these old childhood wounds, and for those who don't know a lot about astrology, your deep childhood wounds usually comes from your Chiron placement. Chiron is the wounded healer. It's a comet that orbits around the sun, right in between Saturn and Uranus. And he's the wounded healer, okay? He was born into this life under unfortunate circumstances, and he has had to go through the process of his entire life, healing himself, while also healing others. So my Chiron placement is in Taurus. So that is my only placement. And it's not a planet, it's a comet, but it's a very significant aspect to our birth chart that deals with deep wounds, okay? So I have a lot of issues around value and self-worth when it comes to the more Taurian characteristics, you know, like finding value in things, and the value in feeling grounded, the value that you feel in your home and in your possessions. Okay, there's some kind of deeper wounds that I have to work through in terms of that. Typically, people who have Chiron in Taurus, and mine is in the 5th house, so that's also a different signification. But to have your Chiron in Taurus kind of means that you, like when you were really young, you probably had possessions ripped away from you. Like you learned at a very young age that things can get taken away from you, and not to put value in things, you know. You kind of learn that there's no value in things. So then as you grow older and you discover that it's important to put value in things, there's a little bit of a internal conflict there, because you're like trying to find the value in your possessions and in your and in yourself too, the value within yourself. So that's the thing that I've been working on these last couple of weeks. But I'm not going to go into depth, but definitely if you want to learn more about me, and you never know, you can learn something about yourself too. I do plan on making a little get to know me chit chat video in the near future, before 2020 is over. And I can also talk about my 2020 experience this year, because we've all had different experiences, and I figure why not share my own experiences. That's how we connect with other people. That is how, we're able to share in some of the more difficult situations in our life, is to share and grow together. Okay, so I'm on this journey with you, and you know what I mean? Like we're all on this journey together. So, and we're all here to learn from each other as well. That's what I believe. I believe that we are here to learn from each other. So, yeah, let's get started. I'm hitting 12 minutes. So, I am using the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, the Enchanted Map Oracle, and Influence of the Angels Tarot. So we're going to start with the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, and I am doing things a little bit differently than normal. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on these cards, because in the process of me learning a little bit more about my value system, I also discovered that there is this, I think one of the things that we as a society need to really learn is how to be more in alignment with our values, okay? To be more in alignment with our values. So how do I explain that? Okay, so tying it into the reason why I want to spend more time pulling one card at a time, instead of like pulling out all these different cards and laying them out on the table, and then getting all crazy into some story. I think that we've kind of lost. I think we've lost our sense of really understanding the meaning of something. Okay, like really understanding the meaning of something in our life, or a piece of information. And that's a very vague explanation, but the best way to put it is like, because we have technology, we have social media, we have Google, we have everything at our fingertips. We literally have everything at our fingertips, and information is just like is just flowing, and information is at our disposal, okay? And we're eating things up like that. And everything that we're consuming, all this stuff that we're consuming, stuff, I think it has weakened our value system, okay? I think it has weakened our ability to find meaning in things. and our ability to really see the truth in something within an article that we're reading or something that we're seeing on TV or whatever the case may be. And I find it really interesting that there's this lesson of value coming up, and it's so significant to what's going on in astrology because we are about to enter into an age of air signs. And when I say that, that is represented by the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction that's happening December 21st. December 21st, we're having a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction at 1 degree, I think it's like 0 degrees. Like they're going to be so close to each other. I believe the last time they were that close to each other was like in the 1600s. Don't quote me on that. Pretty sure it was something around there. And they're moving into Aquarius, okay? And then for the next 200 years, all the conjunctions, Jupiter-Saturn conjunctions, which is like the big cosmic, significant event for Earth, it takes place every 20 years, and for the next 200 years, it's going to be only in air signs, which really, really shifts a lot of our, our more material-minded things. So for the last 200 years, it's been in earth signs, okay? So currently, Jupiter is in Capricorn, okay? And Saturn is in Capricorn. Pluto is also in Capricorn, but Pluto is not going to follow them into Aquarius until 2023. So this is really what's kicking off this new age, okay? There's a lot of dispute about whether this is actually the beginning of the age of Aquarius, particularly. There's definitely dispute in that. Some realms of astrology believe that the actual age of Aquarius isn't going to come into full effect for another couple hundred years. But if we want to just kind of look at the more of the initial cosmic events that are taking place, Jupiter and Saturn are going to be in conjunction December in just a couple of weeks. And they're moving into Aquarius, okay, which kicks off this kind of like more intellectual, this age of intellect, of really restructuring things, things are going to manifest a little bit quicker, more ideas, more progressive ideas, ideas of like of Earth, sustaining the Earth, more future-oriented, social justice, a more humanitarian kind of approach, okay, a more mental kind of approach. So the reason I find this interesting is because right now Uranus, which is the planet, so Jupiter and Saturn are going to enter Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, okay, with Saturn as its co-ruler. But then you have Taurus currently in Uranus. And I find this interesting because with Taurus and Uranus, and with us exiting now this 200 years of being predominantly in Earth energy with the two big planets, there's a lot of lessons coming up, and 2020 is kind of forcing us to learn really valuable lessons, and those valuable lessons are in reference to our values, okay? So it's like as we exit this earth energy and enter the air energy, we're really going to need to take with us the real things that we find valuable in terms of like our earth energies. So like the valuables, our possessions, our self-worth, and to like integrate that as in a deeper way with ourselves. Sorry, this thing kind of keeps popping up and it's distracting me. And a lot of people, like I'm already seeing a lot of people on Facebook and on social media talking about, be grateful for what you have, teaching us to really find deeper value in what we already have, to find deeper value in that that earth element that grounds, the element of earth that really grounds us and allows us to really be grateful and to appreciate and to find value in things. Okay, so this is the lesson that I am seeing here for 2020. Okay, and pulling this union card, and so the reason why I didn't want to do like this whole full spread is because there's so much to learn in just one card. Okay, there's so much to learn in just one card. So I am gonna pull some more cards, but I'm just kind of like, you know, trying to explain why I think it's so valuable to kind of remember the value of things, you know, because we're so obsessed with consumption. It's like, you know, if I, let's say I pull out 20 cards and then it's like, well, the story is never ending. Okay, the story is never ending. And this is what I was trying to say in the beginning of the video. It's like, we're on this journey together. The story doesn't end. There's going to be another video. I'm going to do another video for January. But it's like, it pulling out a bunch of cards will only make me want to pull out more. It's like, okay, well then what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? So, union, okay, and everything that I've been talking about is totally expressive of this union card. So it's really, I feel like for you guys, it's really going to be about finding that union within yourself, finding that, like grounding yourself in your value system, or coming into alignment with your value system. Really like, really allowing yourself to unify with your value system. Okay, and really figuring out what that is. All right, kind of figuring out what that is. Okay, so from the Enchanted Map Oracle, we have the Wizard of Awareness. I love this card. Okay, just want to show, I know there's a little bit of a glare, but the Wizard of Awareness. So, you know, this is going to be a really, really big, like, I totally see you guys just kind of really being observant. Okay, you're really being observant about the things that are going on around you right now, because what's happening around you is important to you as a sign that wants to instigate profit, you know, as a sign. You guys are a cardinal sign, okay, and you're cardinal earth, so you're about like new beginnings, okay, and you really want to instigate and bring in a new like vitality to your work. So with the Wizard of Awareness, it's like, you know, really falling into union with your values and putting that, making that part of you. But now that we're entering this air, it's like once you feel like you are in union with those values and you feel they are grounded within you, once we enter this new age where we are in the air signs, with the conjunction in Aquarius, mental activities are really going to get triggered. Now, some astrologers say that some people are going to feel it more than others, but as a collective, it's really not going to make itself fully known until the sun enters Aquarius, so until February or in the end of January. But there's a sense that you guys are very much aware. Okay, it's like, it's funny, I'm like, I kind of look like him. I'm like, you know, sitting here with my hand under my chin, but you know, he's holding this wand, and it's like he's just waiting. He can make anything happen. Okay, he's the wizard. Magic is at his fingertips. Magic is literally at his fingertips. He's sitting on his throne. And he can literally, he's just waiting, and he can just start making things happen at any point. But the trick, the wisdom with him being the wizard of awareness is like observing his surroundings and then kind of like knowing when it's the right moment to show his magic, to show the world what he can do. Okay, so there's something that you need to observe, okay? There's something that is calling to you to pay attention to. There's something that you need to pay attention to. And it could be in reference to your value system. You might need to start looking more deeply into what it is you value. Okay. From Influence of the Angels, we have the Three of Wands. And this is the Sun in Aries. So this is also really interesting because it's like over here, he's sitting on his throne and he's looking out. Over here, he's also looking out. He also has this heightened level of awareness. And the Aries is a cardinal sign, just like you guys. It's cardinal fire. And this guy holding this wand over here, he kind of looks like, this wand over here kind of looks like these wands that are around him. And then with this Union card, we see that there's pillars. You know, it's kind of like, what is holding you up right now? Okay? What's holding you up right now? What is this? What are these values? You see these three pillars right here? What's sustaining you? What's holding you up? Okay, allow that to be the grounds for a bigger vision. You see, he's looking over this whole city. He's at the top of he's on his mountain, and he has the three things that he will take anywhere with him. It doesn't matter. Those are his three things that he's going to take anywhere with him. But he's looking out at the bigger vision. So it's like understanding the power of your own worth, understanding the power that you have within you to dream bigger and to have these bigger visions for yourself with just a couple of tools. Every single civilization, every dream that has come into full blossom and full being originally started with scraps, with a pen and a piece of paper. So what are your tools? What do you value? What are your tools? What are the things that you would take with you anywhere? If you decided to dream a new dream, if you decided to go in a completely new direction, what would you let go of and what would you take with you to create that new dream? That's the question that I want you to ask yourself for this mid-December up until the rest of the year, okay? And that's going to set you up for 2021, my dear friends. I love you. This is your reading. Yes, 3 cards. In my opinion, though, I thought it was great. So let me know. Until next time.